So we've rolled Puro Puro. Now, what does that actually mean for the account? Well, to answer that question, we need to play story time with ChunkyNadz. So let's take us back, all the way back to episode 1. And in setting the guardrails for this account, we said something very important with regard to Puro Puro. And that's something that was overlooked when initially rolling this chunk. And you'll see how and why it was overlooked. But episode 1, roll the tape, please. The other piece of content that's a little bit sleepy, no offense to anyone out there doing it, but Implings, Shooting Stars, no. Want this to focus on Valamore and Valamore content, and those 2 items will also be off the list. Simply put, Implings are too overpowered this early in the game, and from a Valamore perspective, would give the account gear and require levels far beyond that which the island provides at this point in time. And what we really wanted to do with ChunkyNadz is keep true to the Valamore experience. So why am I talking about this? Well, in the excitement, in the hullabaloo of rolling Puro Puro, we did some magic training. And we shouldn't have. It can't be undone. We got 43 magic, a little over 53,000 experience. It can't be undone. And the early magic levels does lead to some OPness. So the way that we're going to have to deal with that is we've got 53k magic experience right now. Until a further 53k of magic experience is gained, the spells that we can use are capped at those usable between levels 1 and 12. That's part 1. You'd rightfully also be wondering how we got the magic XP. Well, that was through some hunter training in Puro Puro itself and by way of Essence Implings. Now, I don't mind this too much, at least from a hunter training perspective. Recognizing that the Valamore hunter experience only really starts at level 57 because at 39, Embertailed Jerboas require box traps. So other than a lot of lamps, getting Hunter to 57 by Puro is kind of the only way that we can start to use that which Valamore provides, being Pyre Foxes at 57. Do I have access to Pyre Foxes now? No, we do not. But Puro can't be a free chunk. And because of that, we trained. We trained Hunter to 57, as you'll see, for Pyre Foxes. Now, I'm going to make it very, very clear. Other than the aforementioned magic training that should not have been, no loot will be kept from Implings. Implings, in fact, they don't exist until we get 99 Hunter. We're not going to use them on this account. But for a Steel Axe. Because these gains, this magic, the Hunter to 57, it's too free. Chunk accounts are about the grind. And this seems and feels kind of like we're skipping some grind, screwing things up. So before we can even consider moving on from this chunk and rolling again, 75 firemaking and 75 fletching at about 200 to 250 hours are going to be hard requirements. As we round out story time with ChunkyNadz, I sit here and I acknowledge that this is not standard because I made a mistake and I'm copping to it and doing the best to get the train back on the tracks. And by carving out a way to handcuff magic for a short time to pay for that mistake. And by adding 2 additional grinds prior to a roll that hit near 200 to 250 hours, I feel like that's a relatively good way at making up for that mistake. And then we keep chunking. So from a viewer perspective, I am sure, folks out there will be some of you that are somewhat aggrieved by this, and I get it. I'm copping to it. I keep saying it. And I understand if you want to tune out after this. I understand if the comment section does not read very nicely for episode 9. Whatever you need to do, I'm good with it. I'm just grateful you tuned in to begin with. Those sticking fat, know that ChunkyNadz isn't going anywhere. This is a small hiccup in a long road. And we're staying true to the one chunk grind outside of this mistake. Measure twice, cut once moving forward is going to keep us on the right path. So let's take a look at the new chunk goals and jump into what 6 weeks of progress looks like. So first up here, from a chunk goal perspective, we've got 75 fire making. We've made that a nominal burn magic logs. We have 75 Fletcheroony. Again, the nominal Fletch magic logs into shaft. Those two, as you've just heard, punishment tasks. A couple of 100 hours there. And the 58 Hunter, the Pyrefox, or at least being ready for Pyrefox, plus a bit of magic punishment. That just gives us the magic logs by way of nature impling for those 2 nominal tasks as well. And the magic task we should have had, cast Windstrike. So we'll need to grab some air runes from a guard and some mind runes from a thief or a mugger, and get into that. Best in slot as well, we've got obtain a bronze med helm. Believe that will be from the thief. So now let's hop to the progress. So let's go about unlocking that new chunk. Clickety-click. And let's have a poke around, see what we can find. Pestle and mortar, a vial of water. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. We got some rats, some citizens. This, I assume, is where Puro Puro is. Rope, water, bucket of water, some logs. What do we got? Just some box standard guards. Those logs will be probably fletching and fire making source. Got a couple of named folks. Some muggers. It'll be interesting to see what that drop table looks like. And thieves as well. There we go, 100 run. Some corn, I've seen plenty of that. Jug of wine will be good for when we are not using melee. Charcoal. Let's just take a peek. I was curious. 2 steps away. Charcoal. Okay, we can sell charcoal for 18 coins. Just not a good businessman. Come on, buddy. Don't have something I can sell that close. Jog. Some coins on the ground. Let's give him a whack. It's probably a pretty negligible drop table, but we'll find out pretty quickly. Well, pretty quickly versus when we can finally kill him. He's doing a little bit of damage to us, and we tried to run away. There's the kill, and bones. Okay. What else we got? Some trees, snakes. Another dog. Prairie Gen. Perfect. And run. Back to an area we'd already unlocked with an oak tree. Okay. Not a hell of a lot to report here, but a few bits and pieces that we can do. Cool. The early fire making levels come pretty thick and fast, so there's not that much to show, particularly with just the 4 log spawns for now. 10 fire making, and we're off. Edits and ads here as we look to enter Puro for the very first time with Rocky in tow, which is a mistake as it's not possible to take Rocky through the wheat. He can't do it. Anyway, probably should have thrown some Benny Hill music to this, because you'd think after God knows how many accounts I would know how to get the net and some jars from Elnock, but as you can see here, just couldn't work it out. So it's taken us a little while, it's taken us a few talks, it's taken us different menus, and finally, hunter montage incoming. First baby. First level. Queued level. Should be level 20. If we can catch it. There we go. Skip a level. 22 next. If we can get it. Apparently we're going to say the same things here, because it takes a while. There it is. 22. Young implings. Speaking of, there's a young impling. Boop boop. Next. Young meat net. 28. Gourmet. Chasing around a gourmet so we can throw it in the net, loot it, and discard the loot. Curry. Get rid of it. Spawn camp. And we'll just pivot to the young. 36, that would be Earth Implings. Look at this, some mobile work. And 40 hunter at the same time. Into the chicken coop now to tick off a chunk goal with the casting of Windstrike. Notice how we have our best in slot Iron Dagger for that +1 mage bonus, and the blue wizard hat for its fashion scape. Important little milestone now that we've hit 42 hunter. We can trade in a few raggedy implings for the magic butterfly net. What does that do? It gives us a 7.8% higher catch rate. Lamp in the inventory can only mean one thing. We possibly have a level queued up. 10 experience for the woodcutting skill. And that is our first woodcutting level. 2 woodcutting. Little lessons impling over here. We'll throw him in that net, throw him in the jar, and that is 50 hunter. We can now catch eclectic implings, which will very, very slightly speed up our goal. Bit of beehive action, showing this because why not? No, because this is the first one we've shown since the update. Finish the beehive, tell Mr. Keeper that we got it done, get ourselves a nice little lamp, throw that lamp onto wood cutting, and there's level 3. Edits and ads stepping in here for what in legal parlance we would call fruit of the poisonous tree. Earth Strike on a chook, and again, and that is level 10 magician. Q, a mini montage of short sorts. Curse the thief, level from the thief, there is 20. Give him a little bit of a stabby stab. Curse the thief, get a level from the thief, level 30. Another stabby stab. last of the milestone levels from the poisonous tree. There is 40 Magician. We did get another 3 after that, but that's all we're going to look at. Back on the Hunter grind, let's check in after we catch the Earth Impling, and there's 55. As is always the case when we are trying to get back into Puro Puro, we do not use the Puro checker. We light some fires and hop, and here is level 50 fire making. As is often the case, we've got a lamp in the invent since we get random events on Puro. Throw that into the woodcutting skill, 40 XP, and there is level 5 woodcutting. Another day, another lamp, and wouldn't you know it, another level, 50 XP on the woodcutting skill. That is level 6 and a steel axe. So with the self-imposed grind of 75 fire making and fletching, we kept the steel axe to assist with the woodcutting piece. We used about 20 lamps on woodcutting to get to level 6, so pretty strong opportunity cost there, and that is going to be our tool of choice for going 200 hours, 250 hours to get these goals. Here at ChunkyNadz HQ, we have settled right on in to the task that is wood choppy chop and light the wood choppy chop logs on fire. Before taking up woodcutting, we'd probably burnt about 2,500, 2,600 of the logs that were just sitting there near Puro Puro entry, and we need just over 18,300 oak logs chopped and burnt just to hit our 75 fire making goal, and then on to the fletching goal, which is going to take a significant amount more oak logs. So settle in for a lot more wood choppy chop. Milestone pending, milestone reached, 50 wood cutting. A few minutes later, yet another milestone, 60 fire making, 15 to go. Editor Nadz stepping in for what was originally some COVID brain commentary. That is 58 and the last hunter level we're going to ever get in Puro, Nature Implings. It is obligatory at this time, so let's use that oak log on the tinderbox and hit 69 fire making. One more milestone. Well, no, it is one more. There is 70 fire making, and we are on the home stretch. No idea what to lamp now that we've done the wood cutting, so I'm going to throw this on Slayer in the interim and get ourselves level 4 Slayer. And if you're looking here, there's a little bit of a farm run we're doing. We have not forgotten our roots, ChunkyNadz. All that fire making, you'd think we're getting pretty good at it. Well, here is a really nice example of how we're doing some maximum efficiency fire making with the oak logs. 1 ticket into the Slayer Book of Knowledge, 60 XP, and 5 Slayer. I think we're going to wrap up this episode with a little bit of excitement. We've been grinding very hard towards the first, probably easiest to get chunk goal of 75 fire making. So on the way, we picked up, thanks to Varlamore Part 2, the new loop half of key. So that's the moon loop half of key. Did not know that you could get that chopping trees, but we're going to get a few more of those. We've got another 3 in the bank. We've got a mystery box. Diamond. You know what? That's actually not bad. That's not a bad effort. Rub the lamp. We're saving up a bunch of excitement for the end here. 50 Slayer XP. 6 Slayer. It's arbitrary. I do think I'm going to pivot to agility at some stage very, very soon. But a few less Slayer levels doesn't hurt. And for the crescendo, let's light a couple of fires in front of this here bank. Knock out 75 fire making, 1.21 million, and about 20,000 oak logs. As we call it a wrap, let's just check in on the goals achieved in this video. we did manage to knock out level 1 magic for Caster Windstrike. We were at level 1 to begin with. We hit 58 Hunter to enable us to capture Pyre Foxes moving forward. And we hit 75 Fire, making the first and smallest of the 2 self-imposed grinds. Still up on the board, you will see a best in slot, obtain a bronze medium helm. We'll need to get that from a thief at that 1 in 64 we mentioned earlier. And the big one, 200 to 250 hours of 75 fletching. But that is not for this video, that is for the next video. So as we bid you farewell, we always pet the doggy because who's a good boy? Molossus is a good boy. And for that, I say farewell and see you in the next video. Bye.